Ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for three 3-minute rounds in the Cagezilla catch weight of 128 pounds. This bout is brought to you by the kind folks at Sand Screen Printing, turning ink into art. And also our friends at Tobaccoology, fine cigars and tobacco run by fine people with locations in Manassas and Haymarket. And now, starting out, fighting out of the red corner, standing 5'7" and weighing in at 128 pounds, fighting out of College Park MMA, he is making his Cagezilla debut. It's Mardin Velasquez.
Velasquez, 5'7", 128, 24 years of age, out of College Park.
And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5'6" and weighing in at 125 pounds, fighting out of Clinch Academy, also making his Cagezilla debut, it's Jhondy Fuller!
Fuller, 5'5", 125, 18 years of age, out of the Clinch Academy.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for three 3-minute rounds in the Cagezilla catch weight of 128 pounds, and your referee is Victor Matamala.
All right, Victor Matamala will be the referee. He's my favorite name to say the whole entire night. He'll be the ref for this next bout, and it is scheduled for three 3-minute rounds here, CD. As we get the seconds out, we'll get it all locked up and ready to go. Both these fighters look like they're going to be very aggressive. We're going to touch gloves right on top of the Cagezilla logo, and here we go. Velasquez, he'll have the black gloves with the red tape. Oh, rights and lefts from the jump.
These guys were ready to fight.
Good return, though, from Jhondy.
But they couldn't wait for you to get out of there, Chris.
Yeah. Already, you could tell Mardin's got a very, very relaxed composure and clearly a good understanding of striking and range. He knew when to throw that, right? He threw that as Jhondy was pushing forward, and now he's timing his shots as Jhondy's moving. Right, as Johnny's moving backwards, he's coming forward. As Johnny's moving forward, he's adjusting and taking angles and firing off that leg kick. Another one landed there. That was right on the calf. But one thing I do like from Jhondy is he's firing back hard. Good creative. Oh, and he's in on a double. And he's actually pulling him on top. He's thinking about going to half guard, and he's riding that single up, trying to grab those hands. He wants to clasp them and then bring Mardin out. Oh, then instead he's going for a trip. Good clinch control from Mardin, who was able to reverse it. And immediately, Jhondy goes to his butterfly hooks, but the cage is kind of protecting Mardin from getting rolled over.
Velasquez, he'll be on top. He's in control. He'll have the black shorts with the blue stripe. Oh, good right hand from Velasquez.
Really good control, too, from Jhondy. Oh, and now he's fitting in a triangle. I mean, you've seen so many submissions here that are just very, very dangerous. Mardin's got to think about getting out of there. Already that triangle setup's going. Now he's got an armbar. Mardin just rolled up. He did good there, but he just slipped out. But he's got to think about creating space here. Jhondy just fired up about 12 submissions. I mean, it was very hard to even commentate. There was a lot of different attacks that were going on there.
So, Charles, I talked to Jhondy's coach right before this match, and I was asking him about that specifically, how he was going to do against I was talking to Mardin's coach about how he was going to do against a brown belt. He said he's been training, he's a blue belt, and been training specifically for a ground fight. So we know him from TCB.
Right.
And we know he can stand. So I'm interested to see how he'll do.
Oh! Good right hand and left hand. Good combination from Velasquez. And this is where I was getting ready to tell you, CD, the height difference to me looks a lot different than 2 inches.
It does. And Mardin almost threw that knee there when Jhondy was on his knees. Victor does not stop it, though, so they continue. And Chris, to answer your question, I think that Mardin's clearly shown that he's got a great acumen for high-level jiu-jitsu, and I think Josh Peters himself is a black belt. But he's putting himself in some unnecessary danger, right? And I don't mean that as an insult. I mean that as he's doing so well on the feet. When Jhondy starts wrapping him up, even when he's on top, Jhondy is still the one doing the attacks. He's punched his way out of a few things. He's slid out of a few things. But ultimately, he needs to think about getting out of here. Because right now, Johnny's riding up, and now he's got the arm. The elbow was out past the hips, so the pressure wasn't there. But Mardin really has to, he's got to think about getting out of there and creating that space because he's having so much success on the feet.
Both fighters stand right up on top, right in the middle of the cage on the Cagezilla logo. Little breathing out of their mouth. Little damage to the side of the head there of Fuller.
Really good calf kick, and you see a little redness starting to set in there.
Fuller, he'll be in the brown trunks. He'll have the black gloves with the blue tape. This is scheduled for three 3-minute rounds. Victor Malamala is a referee watching both of this. Been a high-impact first round.
Really good composure, though. They started out fast and furious, but they are composed.
No, they absolutely are. And one thing I like is that Jhondy clearly has a gas tank. His ability to just like drive forward and fire unorthodox strikes, pressure forward. That's going to really start paying dividends here as we get towards the second and third round from Mardin.
All right, we'll get the seconds out. We'll get the start of round number 2 here. Remember, the referee is Victor Malamala, one of the best here at Cagezilla. Both fighters being checked on by Victor, and here we go. The start of round number 2, touching gloves right in the middle of the cage. Little slower start here to round number 2. Fuller, he'll have the brown trunks say combat with the black gloves with the blue tape. Velasquez, he'll have the blue or black trunks with the blue stripe. Has some red tape around his black gloves.
So, Charles, if you're Josh Peters over there in Mardin's corner, do you tell him to stay on his feet?
Oh, big knee. Yes, absolutely. Oh, big right hand. That hurt him.
Oh, another one.
But see, and now you're already actually seeing the adjustment that he took from Josh. As Jhondy went for that single, instead of him trying to like reverse in and drive forward, he immediately pushed on the head, created distance, and stood back up. And now we're seeing Jhondy try to work the takedown from the cage, which he got, but immediately Mardin's up. He's not trying to mess around here. He's going for the head and arm, but he's got to be careful about getting his back taken. He clearly was told, stay on the feet and avoid these positions.
Good call, Charles, because that's exactly what's happening here.
All right, so the right hand has caused some damage to the side of the face of Fuller. There is a lot of blood coming. I'm trying to see where it's coming from. But now Velasquez is covered in blood. Both fighters are just covered. So whatever is opened up on Fuller, it is big and it is open. Maybe the nose, maybe a broken nose, yeah.
Yeah, it was a hard shot that landed, but he's still coming forward. And again, on the ground, there is a significant advantage for Jhondy. The only thing is that when you're going for all these submissions and when you're putting yourself in positions for success in jiu-jitsu, in MMA, you're going to get hit there. So you could only attack so much from the bottom without taking damage, which is really allowing Mardin to get up and do this, right? Keep Jhondy at range and throw his strikes. He did a great job of circling away. Jhondy tried to fire back, and he cut the angle to get away and avoid the damage.
Jhondy's nose is clearly broken. Both nostrils bleeding heavily. But in what that does to your eyes, if you've never had a broken nose, we're talking about watery eyes, blurry vision. This doesn't affect your nose, and it is really causing some blood.
And obviously it affects your breathing also, which
100%. Yeah, 100% as it drains down the back of your neck.
Well, Jhondy's still doing a really good job. He's staying light on the feet, right? Good control. I mean, that's good range control, right? He didn't overcommit on the reaction to that leg kick, which would open up opportunities for Mardin. But, big counter there.
Turned his back.
And immediately fires back, though. And see, right there, you could kind of see Mardin was able to just kind of push him off.
Yeah, but Jhondy's definitely affected by this nose. It is definitely, when you can tell that this thing has affected him, his aggressiveness, he's being a little more slow, deliberate. And I'm going to tell you, Velasquez is going to take total control of this fight here.
Well, he's definitely showing a lot more respect now, and you're actually seeing that as a consequence. He's staying at the range that Mardin wants him at, right? He's right at the range for these kicks. Oh, another big shot there. And again, he's pressuring forward. He cut him off, but now he's in on a double. These are good shots, hard shots that Mardin is landing, and because
Jhondy's got to be looking at him, ZD, and going, why can't this kid go down? He has rocked him twice.
Yeah, and another big shot there that went through, and immediately in on a double, transitions to a single, but we're seeing some good takedown defense from Mardin here. And this is a good adjustment from Mardin. He came out this round, and instantly, what was he doing? He was controlling the range more. So experienced striker, too, right? Mardin is an experienced striker who has a good control of the range and is keeping Jhondy at the end of his strikes. We all the time talk about what do you do when you're dealing with a guy who's taller than you and has a better reach.
Right.
Well, this is what we're seeing. This is it in action.
Both fighters touching gloves right on top of the Cagezilla logo.
And to you guys at home, these guys are making their fighting debut.
Well, it doesn't look like that.
Their Cagezilla debut, which is their MMA debut. And they are high-level fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll even tell you, I think Jhondy's doing a pretty good job on the feet. It's just he's going with such an experienced Thai fighter that he's going to have difficulties if he can't get the fight to the ground. I think what Jhondy really needs is when the fight goes to the ground, he needs to be on top and in control. Don't worry about throwing the submission. Worry about slowly being an anaconda, right? You're not trying to catch somebody in a submission. You want to slowly set that trap and trap them and then take the energy away from them.
And every time we see Jhondy on the ground there, CD, he does seem to take control. He does understand. He's going for the triangle. He's going for the armbar. But he very quickly figures out that this guy is strong, and it is tough to get him there.
Yeah, the strength is very real. But I like how he did that. He scooped the leg. Now he's got both hands grabs. He might get the takedown here. But so you don't want to do this. You don't want to have a double grip like that around the waist and then try to drag him down. At this point is when you want to just abandon that leg and suck him in, right? Pull him in with all your body because you need both legs underneath you.
Amazing takedown defense again from Mardin, though. And this is what I talked to his coach, Josh, about earlier. Josh was worried about this, about how it was going to go with the takedown defense, but it looks amazing.
Really, really good takedown defense. And again, look at his composure.
Yeah, very strong base. As soon as Jhondy just shoots in there, the base changes for Mardin.
No, and that's a great point. He does. He makes the adjustments as the range changes. He adjusts what he's doing. And right now you're seeing it. Like he's throwing those leg kicks. He's timing it well. When Jhondy starts to come forward, he fires the leg kick, which then gets him to back up and resets.
Not as aggressive this time. Good right and left from Velasquez. Just trying to measure him up. And I think right now Jhondy knows that he's got one last push in here.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kevin, I think that Mardin might know that he's got to go for something crazy, so he's trying to stay a little bit out of the way.
Oh, good shot. And now Mardin's got his back. And you got to think about what does Jhondy want to do here? You know, does he want to dive in on these takedowns and really just drive forward, or does he need to be a little bit more selective and then once he gets his opportunity, commit everything to it?
So, Charles, what do you think about that, though? If you're Mardin, do you stay away knowing you have the fight? Or?
Absolutely. Why? I mean, if for no other reason, you're having the most striking success you have right there, right at range.
So just take your shots and get out?
Yeah, as he comes forward, fire the leg kick. When he pressures too hard, get the clinch, work the elbows. When he backs up, throw your punches. And next thing you know, no matter what Jhondy does, he's getting hit with something. And that's very discouraging. It makes you actually want to create a lot more space, right? When you try to close distance and it doesn't work, it makes you really want to abandon and create more space. And right here, big shots there landing. But I love that forward pressure from Jhondy. I mean, that's very encouraging as a coach to see that even when he's on the wrong side of what I feel is going to be a 3-round decision, I think he did a really good job of driving forward and constantly fighting.
Salisbury Center, after 3 rounds of amazing action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge 1 scores about 30-27. Judge 2 scores about 29-29. And Judge 3 scores about 30-27 for your winner. By unanimous decision, out of the red corner, it's Mardin Velasquez.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Velasquez comes away with his MMA debut win. Obviously, not the first time we've seen him here because of his TCB experience, but it will not probably be the last time we've seen him. Plus, Mardin is going to be headed to that pro stage. He's working towards that, and I think that he is well on his way. Even though his first opponent, 18 years of age, very, very good fighter, and I hope we see him back again, CD.